Okay, now I have it welded up. Sorry about the rain. Probably can't hear me very good, but anyways, so yeah, I just, as you can see here, I just welded every other rib on the bed. So the next thing is going to be, as soon as this cools down a little bit, I'll be welding this onto that. See you in a minute. Okay, welcome back. Moving right along here, I have the front section welded on, and also took the unbolted the wheel welds off of the bed, one on each side, and those are always fun on an older truck. They got the round bolts on the top, and you have to usually weld something. I had to weld a nut on the top of all of mine to get them off. Anyways, so that's done, and this is ready to be blasted now. I've got them, the wheel welds are sitting outside in the sun. Oh, there's the next project right there. Y'all need to stay tuned for that. That's going to be a good one. 74 Scout Terra. Stay tuned for that. So the next thing on this bed is going to be the bed sides. And I've got, sorry about the lighting. So I've got the front kind of marked off here, the way I'm going to do it. So the seam is going to be about the width of this tape back from the edge, which is about 3/4 of an inch. Reason for that is, most of you guys know that the stiffest part of the metal is going to be right here. It's going to be less likely to warp up as bad if I seam it right here. So the way that I measured this out is, so I come back, I just hook my tape measure on the edge, come back, mark 12 inches right there. Same thing up here. Hook my tape measure, mark 12 inches back. Okay. But that's only half of the equation, so to speak, because this is all going to get cut off, and so you would not have any reference point. So what you have to do is come back toward the middle of the bed and find a reference point that's not going to move, that's going to be stationary. So my lower reference point is going to be this hole where the molding bolts, molding stud goes through the bedside. Just put your tape measure in the center of that. Come over here and measure to this line. It's 25 1/8, 25 inches and 1/8. So that's going to be your measuring new measurement for the bottom. For the top, I chose this center stake pocket. Hook my tape measure right here, run it up to this line, this mark. It's 43 3/8. So now all I've got to do is make, when I get this section cut out, I've got to make this edge be that measurement, and that's going to give me my 12-inch cut off of the front of the bed. It's going to be the same scenario for the back. Only difference being, I want to preserve this light, signal light, marker light. So my seam is going to be back away from that. So I'll be taking my 8-inch section out of, like this area right here. And this, since it's in the middle of it's going to be really hard to keep that from warping up if I weld it. So that's probably going to be, I've got a tool that will crimp the metal so I can overlap it. and I'll probably be overlapping that and gluing it with some panel adhesive. So, okay, well that's all I have for now. I'm gonna get my grinder out and start cutting this, and see you guys in a minute. Now that I have the exterior section cut out, I'll turn my attention to the interior, or the inside of the bed, that panel. What I'm going to do here is there's a body line that runs down and across. So what I'm going to do is just come right up to the top where that curves over. That's going to be the strongest part. I'm going to cut right along that line all the way down and get that cut off, and then I will measure that way toward the center of the bedside, 11 inches. I have to flip the bedside over, of course, measure 11 inches, and then cut that, and then I'll be ready to start moving everything toward the center and get my measurements right that I had measured earlier.